Our last section here is pitching with Coach Otting from United High School. Coach Otting goes through a 7-step process he uses for the wind-up to break that down for us, as well as a 4-step process out of the stretch. Coach Otting goes in great depth here, covers a lot of different aspects of pitching. 4 things I would point out as well that he does cover, but 4 main concepts here in pitching are balance, direction, rhythm, and tempo. One of the things Coach Otting points out is that we're not trying to create monsters or robots, a lot of people say. So we don't want kids looking exactly the same. They're going to have their own nuances, and that's okay. The important things being the balance is there, their direction is right, and they have a good constant rhythm and tempo.
Number 1 is to address the rubber. 2 is a jab step or a takeaway. 3 is a pivot. 4 is a balance point. 5, drop legs, separate hands. 6 is a stride. 7 is finish. Let's do this again, bud. So when we get to here, takeaway, stop. And what we're doing is all we're trying to do is exchange weight on this foot so we can get our pivot foot, which is step number 3, in front of the rubber. 3, he's pivoted now. 4 is up to our balance point. 5 is our leg drop, separate hands. 6 is a stride. 7 is the finish. 2 is a takeaway. Again, exchanging weight, getting weight so we can pivot our plant foot in there. All right. 3, come up to our pivot. 4 up to the balance point and hold. 5, leg drop, separate hands. 6 is our stride. 7 is our finish. Close position. Go ahead and put it 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's basically thrown from the stretch. So if a kid doesn't doesn't want to start with all this wind up to begin with, we can go right to the stretch, okay?
You want me to start together?
Yep, just start together. Yep, start together. Okay? If you're going to throw from the stretch, just figure it as being like in the 4 position. What you're going to do is you're going to come up to the balance point. Go ahead and come up. You're going to separate the hands and drop the leg. You're going to stride, 6, and then 7 is the finish. So notice how his knee is higher than his waist. This is where your power is, guys. In this area here, your legs, your hips, your stomach. You've got to have that. My rule is that leg's got to be higher, or your knee's got to be higher than the waist. That's where we want it to be to create that power with the lower half. A lot of guys don't like to cheat that. Go ahead and show them how you cheat it. Go back down and show the cheat, where you just come up and you just kind of go through. That's just, you're not creating anything on the lower half. And what you're relying on then is all arms. So if you're watching your kids, make sure that they're getting that knee up above that waist and storing that energy and storing that power to be able to use the lower half. Go ahead and go through it one more time. Show them how you're storing that. Good job. Start with your hands down by your side or the ball in your glove, like that, and then come to the stretch position where your shoulder width apart. Key here is shoulder width apart, got good balance. A thing I like to show kids is this. If I push him, he's pretty solid. Now put your feet together, like if you were to pull them together. Now look at him. He can't keep his balance. And pitching is a lot about balance, so we talk a lot about being firm and solid on the mound, okay? Again, shoulder width apart, come up to your balance point. Again, chin over the belly button. We're not rocking back. We're not leaning over ourselves. We're good and tall. We got a little bit of flex in this back leg, and then we glide out from there. Separate our hands, drop our leg, and stride. Finish. Okay? Again, a lot of times what we'll do, and you can do this at the diamond, is if you go out to the mound, draw yourself a line. Check yourself up. If we're working inside, or you have a chance to work inside, try and use a line. There's a lot of lines on the gym floor that we'll use. Again, what we're trying to do is look at his heels. When he comes together, a lot of times they'll be lined up, and when he finishes, go ahead and get to the finish position. Just don't throw. If you look at where his front foot is, he's right on that line. Typically when he lands, his back heel, his heels will be lined up in that position there. Go ahead and do it again one more time. To that balance point. Look at your feet. Do this for me, Jackson, this time. One more that, where your feet are. Good. You got a heel here that's pretty well lined up. He started on this side, so he's not right in the center of the line, but he's pretty well lined up on the line, and that's what we want. One more time. Start in the middle of that line, would you? There you go. Good. Look at his feet, right? He's got this heel lined up with this heel. He's landing on a 45. A lot of coaches will tell you to step at the plate. If you step at the plate, I've lost my hips, okay? I've opened up my hips at this point, and now I don't have anything left on my backside. If we land this on a 45, it's like what we teach our kids, then what we've got is we're still back, and when you come through, you're actually going to rotate up on that top toe. you're not on the heel, but you're up on the ball of the foot. Show them again. What I like to do is come to a set position, shoulder width apart, good and comfortable. Heels are typically lined up in this case. We're not staggered. Some guys stagger them, but we like to have our feet lined up pretty well. We can go to the balance point position, good and high knee, stride out, separate hands, go ahead and land. Land on a 45. Again, you look at where his heels are, they're lined up, but we're still in this 45, being able to go ahead and rotate. We've still got all this backside power to come through. And he's still staying back. That's another key too. As we get out here, and sometimes we get out on our front foot and we're not using anything on our backside. If we stay back, go ahead and show them how to stay back. And let's just do that same thing, get to the land position. Stop. See how he's staying back? If I take him right here, I can split him, it's even. He's not too far forward, and he's not too far back, okay? He's right where I'd like to have him, because then he's still got all, when he makes this back turn on the foot, come up on the toe, he's still got all this backside power right here, okay? And that's what we want. And here's another thing I always tell our kids. If you were facing this way, right here, front side direction, okay? Elbow, leg, line up, that's my direction, backside power, okay? Hip, arm right here, backside power, front side direction. So just think of always staying like here, looking down my elbow, and calling that my sight, okay? So I'm here, I'm looking, front side is my direction, back side is my power. Go ahead and show them. Just go through one and line it up. Good. Again, if you're a coach and watching your kid pitch, and he's missing left to right, chances are it's a direction issue, okay? If you're watching him and he's throwing clear outside or clear inside on a guy, and he can't get it across the plate, chances are it's because he's either flying open too early here, or his footwork or his direction is going to be off on the bottom half. The other thing is, if he's across the plate but it's high or low, it's a matter of where his release point is, okay? So a lot of times go to a release point. Sometimes if he's high, he's going to be releasing it way back behind the ear. Go ahead and rotate through. If he's hitting it in the dirt, but it's across the plate, he's letting go of it too late, okay? He's hanging on to it too long. Too early letting go, too late letting go, if it's at the plate, okay? That's a big thing, and that's an easy thing for a coach to look at. If you're in the dugout, you can see if he's missing left or right, I know his direction's bad. If he's up and down, but he's across the plate, then I know it's just a matter of where he's releasing the baseball, okay?